Like I was a big traveller. I was hang on. This dream, I was travelling like a traveller. And it was like there were power lines, that's the word. Power lines, but they weren't just power lines, they looked like power lines. And I would be travelling along them. But I couldn't see me, just that I knew I was moving like a traveller. Listen, this is serious. Along these power lines. But they weren't power lines. But they looked like them. But they were blue as you travel. They would be, you know, you know how you buy sparklers, right? Sparklers.
Yes, I have some in the drawer.
Well, you know, we were pretty poor when we were little. And the big blue sparklers were much dearer. You know, the big blue ones? The ones that, they're not blue, but they're pale blue. You know the ones? We didn't have them very often, and they were always my favourites. But these power lines, you see, they're not really, but they look like power lines. And
So these are the ones that you were travelling on like a traveller?
Yeah. Yeah. And they were up high, but you couldn't see them connected to anything. It was just these power lines. But they weren't really. But they were long. There. And there they were, up there. These, and I think there was two. There might have been three, but I think there were two. But they only looked like power lines. Stop it! They might have been, but I didn't know if they were. And what really mattered was that I was travelling like a traveller. And that much of them, that much. And you couldn't see how far they were really long. And you couldn't see me, I was just the traveller. And just in front of me, all the time, were these power lines that might have been power lines, but I don't know. But the end of them that was closest to me, the front, if you like, was about maybe that long, and they went for a long way. But that much of them was blue. Exactly the same blue as if you're looking at a sparkler like that and you see the blue. And the power lines that they went on, that much of it was blue. And I was travelling like a traveller on the blue to the power lines. But I didn't actually touch them because they were there. And you couldn't see me, but I was there. And they were in front of me like that. And blue and long. And I'm travelling along. And they're travelling along, but we don't actually get close to it. We don't actually touch each other. Because the power lines are very long. And I'm there, and there's the power lines that mightn't have been power lines, but they were up high, and they were blue. And I didn't like this dream. It was a nightmare for me. Even though they weren't going to hurt me, I was frightened of them. And I would wake up and I would be scared. And I think, why am I having this dream? Because they didn't hurt me. They were just long, like power lines. and blue and lit, and on the traveller, and the power lines, even though I know I'm moving, I don't get any closer. And they don't look as if they're moving. It's just like that. And it's so, and I had this dream for years, Christy. I wonder if a person that tells you what your dreams mean, well, they might say, look, you should do this and you should do that, but it would make no difference now, because they should have told me when I was 5.